Will you please join us in a spirit of prayer and reflection for this evening's invocation? Wisdom tells us that we do well to always be remembering, never forgetting the past and those who came before us, to always be mindful and aware of the present, knowing that we are not alone, and to always be thinking and loving ahead, preserving and building a world for those who will follow us. In our remembering, we acknowledge that we are gathered here today on Lenapehoking, land that once was and still is sacred to the Lenape people. It is here that the people called the Grandfather Tribe and the Peacemakers have lived their lives and served as the earliest caretakers of this land. We remember that on this day, 60 years ago, several 100,000 caretakers of freedom descended upon this nation's capital for the March on Washington. What an auspicious day for these students to begin their studies here at Penn. And as we look back, let us also remember those who have journeyed with us thus far. Thank you for the family members, friends, teachers, mentors, and coaches who were our caretakers and guides. Not one of us could have made it to Penn on our own. And thank you for the present that is unfolding before us right now. Just as we did not make it to Penn on our own, may we not try to make it through Penn on our own. The most successful students gather a team around them, friends and trusted mentors, advocates and counselors who will walk by their side until they return back here to Franklin Field for their graduation. May these newest members of the Penn community enjoy their time here. May they contribute to our wonderful legacy of service. May they know that they are already enough, that we are already proud of them. And finally, as we remember those who've helped us arrive at this point in our lives, as we consider who will journey with us through this next season, may we, students, faculty, staff, and administrators, always have an eye to those who will come after us. Future Quakers who will sit in these seats, but also future humans who will live on this planet long after we complete our studies and service at Penn. For all of this, a foundational past, an exciting present, and a promising future, we give thanks. Amen and amen. My friends, please be seated. It's my honor to introduce our Vice Provost and Dean of Admissions, Whitney Soule.
Well, hello, transfer students and class of 2027. I have very much been looking forward to this moment, so welcome to Penn. I could share insight with you to start you off, and it's really the insights that you shared with me and with everybody in admissions that I want to highlight. Each of you wrote about community, how you would learn from it at Penn, and how you would contribute to it by creating change and stretching into the new. And each of you in the class of 2027 wrote a thank you note in your application. And you were the first applicants that we asked to do this. We wanted you to show us that you could accept influence, positive influence from others, the kind that elicits reflection and inspiration. This matters because accepting influence is essential to relationships, to building community, and of course, to learning. So here's an example of influence. Initially, we drafted a prompt where we asked you to write about something for which you were grateful. And I explained this to Penn's professors Angela Duckworth and Adam Grant, leading experts in psychology. And they agreed that what we were asking for was really important, but they recommended that instead we should ask for a thank you note. And they explained the psychology involved in the process of saying thank you. Because the saying, the expression of thank you generates positive feelings within the person doing the thanking. And speaking the thank you out loud to the recipient is especially powerful. And then they directed me to speak with Professor Martin Seligman here at Penn, widely known as the premier expert of positive psychology. And right away, he was in my office talking me through the science. We changed the prompt. And days later, our application went live. And here is what happened. Nearly 60,000 first-year students applied to Penn. That means there were 60,000 thank yous generated out into the world. And we read them all. We read about your step-parent who kept loving you when you resisted, Your younger brother who aggravated you but also taught you how to make an omelet. Your coworker who taught you to work fast and not freak out about the long line at the register. And your teachers, mightily thanked. And it didn't end there. Some of you read your notes to the person you thanked, and some of them wrote to us about that experience, thanking us for creating the prompt. And then some of your teachers were so inspired that they added similar exercises to their classes. This is not just feel good. This is profound. And each of you sitting out there can do this here. So please notice the positive influence of others. Acknowledge it. Maybe write it as a note. Pass it on. Will it be you whose idea of community and your expression of gratitude that influences Penn? I hope so. Okay, it's my turn. Dear class of 2027 and transfer students, thank you for sharing your commitment to building community with us at Penn, and thank you for the positive impact you have already had on each one of us who read your applications. So, with gratitude, please join me in welcoming President McGill, Penn's 9th president, who began at Penn in July of 2022. She's an accomplished legal scholar who served as the provost at the University of Virginia and the dean of Stanford Law School. And earlier in her career, she clerked for the U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Please welcome President McGill.
Thank you, Dean Soul, and thanks to you and the amazing admissions team for bringing together Penn's newest students, class of 27 and transfer students. They're fabulous. So how are y'all feeling? Good. As president, it is my honor to officially welcome you to the University of Pennsylvania. This, as you've heard, is convocation. That is a tradition named for the Latin term convocare, a word which, if I remember my Latin correctly, translates roughly to a lot of speeches and then there's dessert. It also means a call together. And I am going to call on you now to participate in a little exercise. I'm going to share my reasons in a few minutes, but for now, let me give you the instructions for this exercise. You students in the front row here, you get to go first. Attached to the bottom of your seats, each of you should find a card. Reach down and take it out. Just those in the front row will find the card. All right, now I'm going to give a few more instructions. Once you have the card, hold it up so all of us can see it. All right, and now, only when I tell you to start, let me give you the instructions first. Don't start yet. Did I mention I don't want you to start yet? I want you to turn around and say hi to the person. These are the people in the front row. Say hi to the person sitting directly behind you and pass them your card. Then the next person should do the same. Oh, don't start yet. Don't start yet. Don't start yet. It's like a relay race. Move fast, but say hello. And when you in the very back row have the cards, hold them up so we know that this exercise is finished. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. All right. I'm seeing a lot of cards at the back being held up. Back row, you can tuck the cards under your seat now. Now, maybe I'm a psychic, but I think what you all are thinking right now is, what was that? I'm getting there, but let me have a show of hands first. Please raise your hand if you remember the color of the card that you touched? All right, pretty much everybody. Now I want you to think hard, and you don't have to raise your hand, but don't peek in the back. Do you remember the colors of the cards that were on either side of you as they were being passed back? All right. So I'm willing to bet that that's a little harder to answer, that second question. That is because we are hardwired to focus on what's right in front of us. Might be a goal, might be an obstacle, might be this totally weird game that I just asked you to play. Oh. All right. So that focus and the study of that phenomenon, that hardwiring to focus on what's right in front of us, there's a metaphor for it. It's called the zoom lens, unsurprisingly. We zoom in on what seems most important, and everything else goes a little fuzzy. We see the color on our card very easily, but have a harder time remembering the colors of the card from those around us. The opposite of a zoom lens is called a fisheye lens. That's the wide view. It sees the periphery. It engages panoramically. So today, you are embarking on among the most important times in your life to cultivate the skill of the broad view, the fisheye lens, if you will. And I encourage you to spend at least part of your time at Penn with a fisheye lens. Now, the ability to focus is crucial. Your own accomplishments show that you're very good at focusing. I know you're going to focus on your classes, in your assignments, when you're on the stage, in the lab, on the field. And if I stood up here and claimed that focus was unimportant, I'd be wrong, and a bunch of people, your faculty, would be quite upset with me. But I think there's an important balance to strike. Penn is vast. We have tens of thousands of faculty, students, and staff at Penn. We engage and we study every field and issue under the sun and beyond the sun. And just like your class, the Penn community represents numerous countries, countless backgrounds and walks of life, different beliefs, different causes, some of them common, some of them not. It is likely the single most diverse and dynamic place you may call home. So on any given day on Locust Walk, in your college house hallway, you could encounter a totally unexpected idea that you love or hate. You might make a new friendship that lasts a lifetime. You might hear fresh insights that rocks your world and changes your point of view. The secret is you just have to be open to it. You have to go about Penn every day with a broad and inquisitive view along with that laser focus you brought with you. You have to have a fisheye lens. Penn is a university that's known for exactly that, actually. There are a lot of examples. I'm going to offer you just one because eventually dessert is coming. Earlier this year, one of our faculty won a very coveted honor. It's known as the Franklin Medal for his pioneering work with light wave technology. Professor Neda Ngeta is his name. Back in the 1990s, however, his work focused not on light, but on radio waves. That is, until a fellow Penn scientist invited him to investigate a fish, a green sunfish, to be precise. And this scientist introduced Dr. Ngeta to the physiological adaptations in its eyes that gave it an advantage underwater. Their collaboration eventually led to a new field of study new camera technology, and new paths to other foundational discoveries. Today, Professor Ngueta's broad-ranging research offers us a tantalizing glimpse of a future where we might compute using light, where nanoscale materials manipulate light for any number of applications, from solar energy to augmented reality. All because he approached his work at Penn with a broad lens, quite literally, in this case, a fisheye lens. Innovation often occurs at the boundary points between fields, Professor Ngueta has said. Knowledge does not have boundaries. You can see this truth in all of the schools that you are in, the college, engineering, nursing, and Wharton. Working in humanities, arts, sciences, and professions, Penn people excel at zooming out and exploring across field. They are expert innovators at the boundary points between, and you all are no exception. Approaching Penn with a fisheye lens doesn't have to stop with your academics and your extracurriculars. If you think back to that card game a few minutes ago, an important part, which I think, given that it turned into a relay race on speed, not everybody got the benefit of, but an important part was turning around to meet the person behind you. Never underestimate the possibilities that come with stepping outside your routine and meeting someone new. So I urge you to commit to learning about and with others, to venturing beyond your comfort zone and hearing different points of view, finding common ground, and when differences inevitably occur, learning to disagree productively. Also remember that when you are here taking the broad view and getting the most out of Penn, we are here to support your success and your well-being. Never, ever hesitate to reach out for resources if you need them. And above all, you belong here. As I said at the parents and student reception, this is your university now. This place is vast, it's dynamic, it's diverse, and that is our strength. And with your arrival, we grow that much stronger. You are in the right place. So class of 2027 and our wonderful transfer students, definitely focus on the card in front of you, but don't lose sight of the brilliant array of cards all around you. Be open, inquisitive, and panoramic. Take in everything at Penn with that fisheye lens. Congratulations and welcome to Penn.
Many the too many things I haven't done yet. There's too many sunsets I haven't seen. I can't waste the day wishing it slowed down. You would have thought by now I'd have learned something. I made up my mind when I was a young girl. I've been given this one world. I won't worry it away, no. Now and again I lose sight of the good life. I get stuck in a low life. Then love comes in. How far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, many the miles. Oh, how far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, send me the miles, and I'll be happy to follow you, love. I do what I can wherever I end up to keep giving my good love. I've been spreading it around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I've had my fair share of take care and goodbyes. I've learned how to cry, and I'm better. How far do I have to go to get to you? Many miles, many miles. Oh, how far do I have to go to get to you? Many miles. Ooh, send me the miles. Read a letter day. I'm in a blue mood, wishing the blue would just carry me away. I've been talking to God, don't know if it's helping or not, but surely something has got to give, 'cause I can't keep waiting to live. How far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, many the miles. Oh, how far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles. Oh, I'll be happy to. Yeah. Many the miles, many the miles. How far do I have to go to get to you? Many the miles, many the miles, many the miles.
As Provost, Penn's Chief Academic Officer, it's my great pleasure to be among those welcoming you this evening. Convocation is a Penn tradition that dates, at least as a formal ceremony, way back to the 1890s, though first years gathered informally long before even that. And of course, Franklin Field, it has its own storied history. Built 101 years ago, it was the country's first two-tiered stadium and once played home to both the Philadelphia Eagles and the annual Army-Navy game. And of course, we still hold the prestigious Penn Relays right here on this field, which began in 1895. So yes, as you know, Penn is very old. But you are all new. And that's something we kind of share. I'm also new, not to Penn. I've been here for over 17 years now, but to this role as Penn's provost. I started in June, and to be honest, I'm still getting my feet wet in this new position. So I can't pretend to pass along bits of provostial wisdom gained over years of experience in the position. I don't have a ton of it yet. And I can't really provide you with a detailed portrait of how it looks from where I sit either. It kind of looks new and exciting and even, if I'm honest, a little bit daunting. And maybe we share that too. So I'll speak less as provost today than as an anthropologist, since that's the field that I know best. Anthropology, for those who don't know, can be defined in a number of different ways. But one way to describe it is as the study of human difference. We want to know what makes human beings quintessentially human. What is it that makes us different from every other animal on this planet and from one another, too? Penn is a new and different place for you, and each of you will contribute your own different story and experience. That difference, how we view it, how we understand it, and how we celebrate it, is my focus in these brief remarks tonight. First, Think about what makes us different from, say, a bear in the wild, or a salmon swimming in a stream, or maybe that very same bear trying to catch and eat that salmon. Anthropologists have 4 basic ways of explaining those differences between humans and bears and salmons and other creatures. Students sometimes abbreviate those differences as stones, tones, bones, and thrones. First, our artifacts and the tools we develop, material culture, those are the stones. Second, our capacity for symbolic communication using language, poetry, newspapers, song lyrics, the tones. Third, our very bodies, our physicality, our genes, our 2 legs, our bipedalism, our lack of fur, scales, the bones. And finally, our rich cultures and beliefs and our expansive capacity to learn that's adapted over many, many generations that we pass on to those who come behind us. Those are shorthanded as the thrones. Yet there's a big irony, I would argue, in all of this. You see, those stones, tones, bones, and thrones, the very things that make us alike as humans, that no other species quite look like us, or move like us, or communicate as abstractly as we can, or share a rich capacity for cultural expression, and on, those are the same things we use to make distinctions between and among us as human beings. That person doesn't look quite like me, and we don't share language and can't quite communicate easily, and we're raised in different cultures and have different traditions and assumptions, and we don't share the exact same history. What binds us is also what we use to splinter us one from another. You've only been here about a week, but I'm sure you've already noticed that this is a community filled with differences. And it's probably even very, very different from what many of you are used to. And that, I would argue, is a good thing. At Penn, you will become not simply well-educated, but well-rounded, exposed to new ideas and different people, prepared and excited to lead in a multicultural, a multi-everything world defined by a plethora of differences. Anthropologists often talk about trying to understand exactly where these differences come from, not to deny them or to beat them back, but to appreciate them. And that can be very difficult to do, I admit. It requires trying to see the world through other people's eyes, from their perspectives. That means listening to others, really listening, and learning from them, being willing to. You might disagree with their point of view. In fact, I'm sure at some point while you're here, you absolutely will. But listening and being willing to learn from others, no matter how different, is essential to everything we do here. Don't run from differences. Embrace them. I mean, how else can you learn? So I encourage you to take advantage of Penn's numerous student and affinity groups, its various campus organizations and community-based engagement opportunities. Try something new and make a point of meeting others with different stories from your own. I suspect you'll find you have more in common with them than you know. But those differences will remain too. And that's a good thing. Take classes in subjects you know a lot about, and in subjects you know absolutely nothing about. And my guess is you'll be surprised in both cases. And finally, remember that differences define our strengths, including differences in our biographies and histories, cultures and languages, nationalities, beliefs, and commitments. The great anthropologist Ruth Benedict once noted that the purpose of anthropology is to make the world safe for human differences. Not a trivial goal. Make it safe for human differences. Embrace those differences And don't be afraid of the fact that this special experience with us here at Penn will undoubtedly make you different by the time you leave, in ways that are inspiring and foundational and inescapable. It most certainly will. Members of the great class of 2027, if I can leave you with one clear message this evening, it's this: dare to be different. Welcome to Penn.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely, a long, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Well, here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right, do-do-do-do-do. Little darling, the smiles returning to their smile on their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right, do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes, it comes. Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Well, here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right, do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun.
Now, I call upon our senior class president, Toyosi Abu, to present the flag of the class of 2027. This flag will join the flags of previous classes at all official university events and future alumni celebrations. Bravo, bravo. All right, this is a great job. I officially declare the start of the 284th year of the University of Pennsylvania. After the ceremony, please swing by the tent on Shoemaker Green, right in front of the Palestra there, for refreshments. Before we process, please join me in thanking and admiring the beautiful music of the Penny Loafers, the Glee Club, and the Penn Band. So if you will please rise and join me in singing the Penn Anthem, the red and the blue, that is printed on the back of your passes. Don't forget your passes, you need them for dessert. But also the red and the blue is on the back of the passes.
Now in hall and campus through, Lift up your hearts and voices for the royal red and blue. Fair Harbor has a crimson, old yellow colors too. But for dear Pennsylvania, we wear the red and blue. Hurrah, hurrah, Pennsylvania. Hurrah for the red and the blue. Hurrah, 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 hurrah for the red and blue.